Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, I know it's been a while. I know it's been a minute since I uploaded a video. So, this first video back is going to be about how I achieve my flawless looking skin in drag. A few people have asked how I get such a flawless finish on my skin when I'm in drag. And so this video is going to go into all the details of how I achieve a flawless finish. So if you are interested in how I build the illusion of Regina La-Rae, starting with the base, just stick around and keep on watching. So I like to start off with a skin primer, and what I've been using lately that has been so fantastic for me, oh, this one's the empty one, is this e.l.f. Primer Mist. I showed you this in one of my other videos, and it's my favorite. Like, it's honestly my favorite primer to use. I have dry skin, so it works really well for me. It's a spray, and so I'm going to go ahead and coat this face, and then we'll let it dry. That primer is nice and dry now. So the first thing I like to do, when I use Ben Nye for a foundation, I have 3 different Ben Nye foundations here. And you can kind of see their different colors. So the first thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and start my highlight. And I use a flat foundation brush by e.l.f. for that. And then my highlight is Ben Nye, and it's in the color Japanese. And that's because I have a lot of yellow tones in my skin. And so I like to complement that. And so I like to start off by just going right here under my eyes. And you can see where I'm like stopping at. Right there at the apples of my cheeks, just going under my eyes. And I take this just right there. So now that the highlight is down where I want it with a brush, I go back in with a beauty blender, and I'll dip that in my makeup still, and then I'll just go in and smooth out all those strokes that I made with the brush. And you do this in a patting motion. You don't want to do it in a swiping motion, but the patting motion to blend that out and get those rough edges. Like, you can see the difference between here and here with that beauty blender. And it just really smooths the edges out and gives you a nice, soft Photoshop finish. I was accused of being a filter queen before, and I found that really funny because I don't really filter my photos that I post online. I take a lot of them right here in front of this damn good lighting, and you can see like what it does. I got a little closer to my face so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. But yes, I was accused of being a filter queen, but it really is not even about being a filter queen. It's about knowing the application of your makeup, knowing your face, and knowing the lines and what to do. And so I'll show you some things that I do to keep creases and lines and cracks off of my face. So under my eyes, I crease a lot because I have the good life. And you know, we have bags, and so they crease a lot. And so what I like to do is after I get my highlight laid down, I will go back in with my powder puff, and I will set under my eyes. Just under my eyes for now. And this is just so that way I'm not expressive. I'm just setting to make sure that those creases under my eyes do not mess up my makeup, and continue to keep that flawless finish on my makeup. And so that's why I set under my eyes. So after I get my highlight laid down, I like to move on to the next step, and my next step is my foundation. And my foundation comes in a caramel tan. That's by Ben Nye as well. And it's a really good match, like kind of close match to my skin, almost too close. You can't really see what I'm applying. Like, I mean, that's a good match. After that, the next step I like to do is I like to go into contour. Now, I did not use the cream contour because I was really afraid of it, but then I really started getting into it. So now I use the color Coffee Bean for my cream contour, and I will take that on the parts of my face that are left, and as well as creating my cheekbones. And so I do that first. I'll go right from here on my ear, and I'll just swipe that right down. Boom. And then filling in the back a little bit more than the top, the front, and creating a line that's there. And we'll just create, and then we'll go all the way around up. If something's a little bit uneven, and also using the brushes, I can go back in to be a little bit more precise and clean it up. So I was just noticing how I brought this down a little further than the other one, so I can go clean that up with my foundation. And that just cleans up so easy. Same thing with here, I don't want it that far out. It's just cleaned up. Right? Done. So we're cream contoured, and we're not done. Again, after applying with the brush, I go back in with another beauty blender. I have 3 different beauty blenders for the 3 colors, and that's so that way I can really work with each color on its own, and then work with them together. And so after I get that nice and blended out, I go back in with my highlight color, and again, I don't really dip that back in, but I go back right over the brow area to make sure that's brought back out, and then I marry these 2 colors together on my cheek. There we go. And that, see that? Just, it's so good already, and we're not even done with the contour. That's the great part about it. And so then also I will go down and do my chin, and I usually just go right one swipe, boom, and I go one swipe across that again, and then I take that beauty blender, blend out that line, because you don't want that to be harsh. So I take the dark one with the Coffee Bean beauty blender, and then I take the Caramel Tan beauty blender right on top of that line to make sure that it is nice and clean and just gone. We don't want it to just look. So after all of the foundations are applied and laid down, I go in and I powder over everything. And I start with the lightest powder first. So we start with the highlight powder, and I just go in and I'll highlight my cheeks. By no means the way that you have to do anything to get the flawless look that I achieve. This is just how I do it, which is what I was asked. So I'm not by no means saying this is the perfect, proper way to do this. This is just my way. And then I go in and I dust everything off, and I start with, again, the lightest color with this brush. This brush is only used for the highlight color. I start with that color first. Just knocking that all off. And then the contour and the base color, I just knock off with one brush. I use the same brush to knock that off because it also helps diffuse that contour a little bit with that lighter color on there. But I just go and powder that right off. There we go. So after I'm done with that portion with the contours, I will go back in with a powder contour, and this is the Star Blend, Miron Star Blend Contour 2, and I will just go back in over that contour, and just I kind of use this to fill in if I left any spots out, and also just to kind of deepen it up and get a little bit more precise with where it's laid down at. And so I just go back in and I literally can just go right over everything I did, and then I just bring it up onto the highlight a little bit more, really lightly, really softly, gently, not going too heavy there. But it helps deepen it, and it also helps blend it with everything else. So after I go in with the powder contour, I go into my cheek, my blush, and I like this rouge, powder rouge, and it is Dark Tech. It's got like more of an orangey tone to it, and you see I've been using it a lot, and I like to just go in right on top of that contour where it meets my highlight to give my cheeks some color. So then after that, I take this brush that has nothing on it, I've never put any product on it, and I take that and blend the highlight and the rouge color together to get rid of the harsh line between those two. Woo, got myself in the eye. So see, there we go. And you see how like well blended that is together? I'm looking at my monitor to see. You can just see how well blended everything is together, and it creates a real nice finish. And then what I'll do before I put on my eye makeup and everything is I go back and I clean up the lines and just cook underneath the cheek. And that just helps set the cheek underneath and clean up any spill out from the contour from blending it down together. And then before I put my eye makeup on, I will go ahead and cook my highlight as well. And I take that right underneath the eye, and we just go right under. So there you have it. That is how I achieved my very flawless look. Like I said, people accuse me of being a filter queen a lot, but really, as you can see, like, I changed the lighting of the camera so that way you can get a better look of what it naturally looks like in person. And it's not about filters, it's just about the way that you apply your makeup and the way that you do things. And I just really like to take my time with getting that stuff laid down. Thank you so much for watching. I'm probably just going to go and do another video for you next. And so, but right now this is just what I wanted to do for you, is show you how I achieve that flawless look whenever I'm on stage and whenever I'm, putting on Regina. This is always the way that I apply it, to really get that just like I'm fresh-faced and young and beautiful. So thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, may the fierce be with you.